Liverpool Fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool Fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai, and finally the big encounter is on the horizon. On Sunday, Liverpool play Manchester United at Old Trafford. Now, I'm going to go through the predicted lineups, the tactical analysis. This is a channel with substance in abundance, the cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop!
And we'll look at all of the transitions, what Man United are trying to do, what Liverpool need to avoid, Liverpool's game-winning conditions, and how Man United could potentially get lucky in a few scenarios and areas on the pitch. So let's get into it. But before we do, during the course of this video, why don't you comment in the comment section below what you think of Liverpool's squad going into this season until January, because this is what we have, having signed Federico Chiesa and Mamardashvili, who's going to spend a season on loan in Valencia. We loaned out a lot of our youngsters like Stefan Bajcetic, we sold Bobby Clark, we retained Tyler Morton, but we loaned out Ben Doak and Cade Gordon as well as Owen Beck. So it's a pretty trimmed squad that Arne Slot has to work with, and he's going to work his magic with these particular individuals, including Wataru Man Mountain Endo, the Big E, and Special Gravy Ryan Gravenberch cooking in the 6th slot to make sure the slot machine runs wild on Man United. So let's look into the lineup for Manchester United first and foremost, being the home team. So we have Onana in goal, and probably Dalot at left back. And will it be De Ligt in the back line or Harry Maguire? It's a tough call, isn't it? But one of them will partner Lisandro Martinez, Licha, from their side. And unfortunately for Manuel Ugarte, he hasn't registered in time, so Manuel Ugarte sits out this particular occasion. But easy cheesy, Bruno Fernandes is one to look out for because he will probably be their danger man. So pay close attention to this obnoxious looking fella. Now let's go into the tactical lineup and what we think Manchester United will do on the tactics board. So for this particular matchup, Ten Haag has more than just a victory or defeat on the line here. It's personal pride and ego, because he will not want to lose his fellow compatriot Arne Slot, because Arne Slot is in his first season in Liverpool. Ten Haag has had an opportunity to mould this Man United squad in his image and he's failed to do so. Sure, injuries could be an excuse, however, they have no real playing style. They don't really dominate possession, they don't create so many clear-cut chances, but they do have players that can be effective. Speaking of which, let's look at the potential lineup for Man United. So first of all, starting in goal, Andre Onana. We have to distribute the ball from the back, fairly confident goalkeeper, very spotty and patchy in terms of form. When he's on it, but he does drop the occasional clanger, so that can only be a good thing for Liverpool's prospects. Now you're going to have Mazraoui on the right hand side. Mazraoui is a technically proficient player. He's pretty decent on the ball. The problem is he can't get a consistent run of form because he's always injured. And when he comes back from injury, he takes some time to get going again. I think Lisandro Martinez will be starting. Licha from them. The ball player, quite diminutive, but capable in the air as well. The ball player from the back, receiving the ball from Onana and playing out from the back. Left side, Dalot. Pretty obvious one. Now he is a bit like an Alvaro Arbeloa. I don't think he's as good as Alvaro Arbeloa, but inverted fullback, can play either side like João Cancelo. He has a bit of attacking flair and attacking verve as well. He will be looking to go around the outside. However, predominantly being right-footed, I think he has perhaps the right tactical fit to follow a Mo Salah, but whether he can do it consistently for 90 minutes, yet to be seen, because Mo Salah's off-the-ball movement is his most prominent attribute, his most threatening skill that the Egyptian king running down the wing actually possesses. Who will partner him? Will it be Sir Harold of Maguire, that YouTube legend, the highlight reel superstar, funnier than Frankie Boyle and Jimmy Carr combined? Will it be Sir Harold Maguire, or will it be Matthijs de Ligt? Matthijs de Ligt has come into big fanfare, obviously on big wages as well, heralded as a wonder kid from the youth ranks in Ajax with Ten Haag. Will he opt for De Ligt, or will he go for that experience and know-how of Harold Maguire in this particular lineup? I believe he starts De Ligt because he's never really fully been convinced by Harry Maguire, and in that regard you throw De Ligt into the fire, into the deep end, see whether he can sink or swim. And against Liverpool's offensive prowess, well, what a match to throw him in. Best of luck, mate, but let's see how he copes. No nonsense defender, not the best on the ball, full-blooded and fully committed. That is Matthijs de Ligt. In front of him, I think we go with Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo. It's going to be a deep lying two with Casemiro, probably holding in this kind of pivot here with Mainoo, given the license to roam and join into the 8 positions as well. Transition into the 10, go around the outside. He's an athletic and capable midfielder, showing his qualities in the domestic, Premier League and international stage. You can't begrudge Kobbie Mainoo a fantastic career because he looks like a very, very hot prospect. He scored the goal against us, unfortunately, that knocked us out of the FA Cup last season. They were under the cosh. So this time, let's keep a better eye on him and shackle him for the full 90 minutes plus. And then some decisions come further afield. So Bruno Fernandes has actually played on the whips and on the wings, inverting to the central 10 position in the latest few games. However, I think with the current personnel they got, they're going to play with 2 out-and-out wingers. So in front of him, Bruno Fernandes sits in the 10. And whether we represent him with this little diamond here, or we distract the team with his cheesiness as a McDonald's McChicken nugget, because he is a bit of a nugget, or whether his slimy, slivery tendencies are better represented as an octopus tentacle. Now this is actually an earpiece you can dangle off the ear, but you know what I mean. I'm going to go with the octopus earpiece for now. And Rashi is coming on. Respect to Rashi, he's a good human being. And his best form is off the pitch, helping those in need, for example, children in need with the school lunches. Rashford starts on the left, he always starts on the left, and on the right hand side is between Ahmad and Garnacho. But for this particular game, I think Garnacho starts on there, which leaves Xerxes up front. Now, Xerxes, their new signing, he was at fault for the goal ruled off against Brighton. Couldn't get out of the way, hit his knee, it was offside, but he also scored the winner in the first match. So a bit of a mixed bag here. But I think for this particular lineup, match, this is the lineup that Man United will go with. I think Xerxes will drop into the pocket alongside Bruno Fernandes in this kind of area here, because they will look to be in and around our number 6 and pressure Ryan Gravenberch or Wataru Man and Endo or Alexis McAllister, whoever starts in Liverpool's deep lying 6 position, unless they start with deep lying 2, in which case the system is different. But a 4-2-3-1 for Manchester United classic with the inversions of Xerxes and Fernandes into the 10 positions, because on the diagonal runs they're going to be looking for Rashford to come inside and for Garnacho to come inside. One of the game-winning conditions for me is obviously Mazraoui around the outside, very similar to what Liverpool do. You have in the pockets Garnacho and Rashford looking to come inside and shoot across goal. Garnacho coming around to shoot across goal. Xerxes dropping in the pocket to link things up. Bruno Fernandes connecting the midfield to the attack. Obviously pops out wide on occasion to give the whip. Quality delivery into the box as well, where Xerxes will hopefully latch onto it with a wide shooter in Rashford coming in from the flanks. Garnacho being in and around the outside, and Mazraoui out there for the switch. Casemiro won't venture too high because they don't press in the opposition half. A la Liverpool is not as big a press, but Kobe Mainu will be covering the whole lateral, because obviously he needs to put out the fires wherever they are, the extra body in the defensive shape of Man United. Similarly, the centre-backs don't push up too high. They're not as restrictive as a Liverpool or Manchester City pressing the opposition up high, but they will give the support to Casemiro, try to keep it tight and force Liverpool down the whips as usual. I think Man United will give up possession regularly to Liverpool in this particular matchup. It's been the way in the last few games. The trend has been Man United are looking to hit on the break. So with deep line players, Casemiro sitting in front of him, Kobe Mainu roaming in and around Harry Maguire. You're going to have Bruno Fernandes sitting on the top of the diamond. And to be fair to him, even though he's a playmaker of the highest caliber, he's a moments player and he blows hot and cold, but he does contribute defensively with his work rate. And they're going to be looking to keep Rashford up high. Rashford isn't the best at tracking back at the best of times anyway. He's a bit lethargic coming back. Man United fans have had a go at him previously for that. But Garnacho, to be fair to him, does cover the whips pretty well and support in this general area in the vicinity of the pitch. You expect him to be more of a right-sided midfielder than a winger in itself. And you're going to have Mazraoui doing his best to stymie the attacking threat, because Lucho Diaz is on fire, is on form at the moment. And if he's got his shooting boots on, that spells trouble for Man United, because he will always get a shooting opportunity in every single match. So Mazraoui and Garnacho will be doubling Lucho. I think they'll be trying to congest him on the inside channel, because Lucho Diaz on the outside isn't particularly a dominant threat. But what Man United like to do is set the traps in a field, inside the field, into the congested area, because they do not have the most pace at the back. Matthijs de Ligt, Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez are not absolutely blazingly quick. Lisandro Martinez the pick of the bunch there. And Xerxes will roam in and around in Liverpool's 6 positions, because he isn't the most pacey forward either. He's a physical, technical specimen, but he needs to work his way into the game and try to connect the play as well. He will be the point of the diamond, similar to Firmino, to release Rashford on the overlap. They want to isolate Trent Alexander-Arnold as one of the win conditions. Rashford will try to skin him up, come inside and shoot, hopefully balloon it over the bar as well. It's very noticeable that they always try to hit Rashford against Trent Alexander-Arnold, but when Trent transitions further forward, it's Ibu Konate in the pocket there, and historically Konate is a great wide defender and marks Rashford pretty well. But I think Van Dijk needs to come across and cover as well, because Xerxes, unfortunately for them, isn't the best matchup against a Van Dijk and Konate, because he's not going to outpace them. He hasn't got the physicality to outbrute them, but he has got technique. So if he can hold up the ball, it gives Man United a platform to play off against. Now we know what Man United are going to do. They're going to sit back, they're going to congest the area, 2 banks of not necessarily 4, but a 4 and a 3, because Garnacho will go into the same line as Casemiro and Kobe Mainu. Bruno Fernandes roaming in between the lines, trying to link up the play. He will be the wide runner. I don't imagine Xerxes being the one to come into this spot here, because I think Xerxes will operate in the proximity of the 10 space either side. Mazzala left, Mazzala right, and 10 position for Xerxes. Bruno Fernandes will offer the width as a pseudo winger because his delivery from out wide is pretty good as well, and his ability to find a Xerxes in there, in and around to Rashford, or for an overlap, Xerxes going there, and Kobe Mainu offering the extra option. Casemiro won't go up too high, but you'd expect Mazraoui and Dalot to support where they can, but be defensively aware to tuck in, keep the shape, and keep congested as well. So that's ultimately what Man United are looking to do. I think they're going to be looking for set pieces for Bruno to deliver the ball in and around the area, or shoot direct a goal as well. I think Xerxes needs to have a good performance to hold it up, to unleash your Rashford or your Diallo. In this case, I've chosen Garnacho. Garnacho needs to have some joy in this area here, but the Robertson-Van Dijk partnership is very, very hard to break down. So ultimately, I think the matchup on the right here, which is Rashford pinned against Trent, or when Trent transitions forward, Konate against Rashford in that regard. Alisson Becker will have to save a few shots on goal because we're at Old Trafford. They'll always get a break or two away. They'll always have shots on goal, whether it's hit or miss. We hope Alisson Becker is up to the task, but we know what Man United are looking to do and where they're looking to exploit. In Liverpool's 6th position and against Trent Alexander-Arnold as usual. Now, we've talked about the obvious ploy of them trying to target Trent Alexander-Arnold in and behind, especially when he roams up, except for the fact they're going to meet Konate in and around this area as well. So what else could they be targeting? Getting the players in and amongst Ryan Gravenberch, especially your Xerxes from behind and your Bruno Fernandes and your Kobe Mainu, trying to pincer and trap Gravenberch when the ball comes back to him, except for the fact that he's very, very well adept at bopping the ball through the lines, and especially if you're coming from this position, hitting it out wide for a fullback to go onto, and off you go in the rounds again, because you've got the triangles in all facets of play, and Gravenberch should be fairly reliable in receiving the ball. In fact, so many times Alisson has actually bopped the ball to Gravenberch in the middle because of his propensity to hold onto the ball, get his long legs on the ball, control the ball, and work the ball into good positional space. Now, where can Man United really look for opportunities for their goal scoring abilities? I think if Bruno Fernandes or Rashford get fouled in amongst this area, it's going to be a wide delivery from Bruno Fernandes or Rashford into the zone of uncertainty, and Man United traditionally do score the odd jammy goal, whether it's a Matthijs de Ligt or a Harry Maguire, someone in the box winning a header from a corner. It could be a corner, it could be a corner. Bruno Fernandes on either side, or Marcus Rashford whipping it in. Ball gets deflected over. It could be Xerxes bopping it in the back post. He's quite physical as well. Decent in the air, not dominant in the air, but more likely Maguire or De Ligt will be the ones contesting, and Casemiro is always a danger when the ball drops as well, because he's pretty sharp and on point. But I think Casemiro is one of their weak points, because I don't think he's got the legs to keep up with the transitions, especially the lateral passes in either direction for the players to move on to. Casemiro yet to be seen if he can plug the gaps effectively between the fullbacks and in the 6th position, but Mainu is going to be a bit of a menace because he does press pretty well. So it's going to be a ball from a set piece that could cause an effective outlet for Man United to try to get a goal scoring feat. Additionally, one ball that we've got to be careful of for Rashford is that ball in behind a centre back, in between Van Dijk and Alisson, for a flying Xerxes. Xerxes will be trying to slide in, and Garnacho will also be trying to slide in on any delivery, hard delivery from Rashford or Bruno Fernandes into the area as well. And similarly on the opposite side, Bruno Fernandes will on occasion smash the ball across, more in hope, hit and hope, but it does cause uncertainty to hope for a Van Dijk dangling leg, an Ibu Konate dangling leg, a Rashford diving in, a Xerxes diving in, because I do expect, rather than beautiful formulated play, they're going to be looking to arc the ball in behind our defence, in front of Alisson, and hoping one of their strikers can latch onto the end of it. And that's got to be something that Arne Slot pays attention of as well, because I don't think they're going to break us down through beautiful play. It will be a set piece or a smash ball across the face of our goal. But I feel this Man United team will be shift on the laterals because of the fact that Liverpool played the extra pass. So on occasion, you're going to see a solid 3-1, maybe in between, one at the top of the diamond, Rashford as an outlet, and Xerxes roaming, trying to look for space as well. So let's get onto the fun part. Let's look at what Liverpool are trying to do. So I'm just going to reset the board. Now, several positions in Liverpool picks themselves. So I got a big can badge here for Alisson Becker, probably the best goalkeeper in the world, at least in the Premier League for now. On form as well, 2 clean sheets in 2 matches. Every time the ball comes to him, safe as houses, expected to clutch the ball, dominate the air, command the back line. Next to him, Virgil van Dijk, captain of Liverpool FC, still got the pace, team of the season last season. We know what he's all about. Man Mountain, Colossus, Mr. Consistency, Mr. Cool Head. Andrew Robertson comes at the left back because of the leadership role, and it's the off the ball work of Andrew Robertson that you don't appreciate, that you don't see, because when the ball is in this area, he's always picking up the right positions to stop the counter attack, to add the extra man in midfield, to add the width outside. He's done a bit of a runner there. Whirlwind Robbo. To add the cutback for Lucho Diaz, or to be there for the second phase for recycling the ball and playing the ball in and around as well. So for his off the ball efforts and ability and leadership and understanding with Van Dijk, Robertson comes in. There have been calls for Kostas Tsimikas. There might even be calls for Joe Gomez to come in to mark against inverted wingers. However, I think Robertson keeps his position with Van Dijk. Next to Van Dijk will be Jarell Quansah. Made a high profile mistake last season, but Jarell Quansah is not the type to linger on a mistake. He's way above that. He's such a cool customer, cool head. He expects his starting role. I don't think he comes in. As I mentioned, Ibou Konate, for the fact that he is the wide defender, one of the best that Liverpool have ever had, in fact, in world football currently, and marking the widths and along the byline. Ibou Konate in this zone is dominant. He came on for Jarell Quansah in the opening match against Ipswich, won every ball aerially. He helps us get our defence, helps us win the second phase, and initially win that first clearance as well. So Ibou Konate, very, very important, especially against Joshua Zirkzee, who will roam in and amongst this area. Van Dijk and Konate can come in to win the aerial duel if anything is put up to him, and to feet as well. They'll be in and around to compress and close that space. So Ibou Konate comes in. First choice, Trent Alexander-Arnold or Conor Bradley. Trent Alexander-Arnold, we know all about his contract situation. This is something interesting as well. For everyone who thinks we had a bad transfer window and they're blaming the fact that we didn't renew Van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold or Mo Salah, it's got nothing to do with transfer window. Transfer windows is about transfers. Contract renewals can happen anytime. There is no window. Surely before January, but you've seen on occasions the deal happens after January, because these are life-changing decisions for the players, for the agent and the club themselves. These things take time, and come what may, what happens. Liverpool will always exist and will always have a decent team, but you'd hope that they'd sign their contract relatively soon now that the transfer window is over. Yet to be seen. Let's see what happens. But Trent Alexander-Arnold starts in place of Conor Bradley for the fact this is a high-profile match. Now I know Conor Bradley really offers something against the Man United team, and I will show you why just in a bit. But Trent Alexander-Arnold for his delivery means that Man United team, their shape, they cannot switch off at any given time, because at any point in time they have to be aware of their movement, because Trent can hit all the prominent parts of the pitch in one fell swoop. He can hit it to both number 8s in the Mazzala position. He can hit it to a Mo Salah running down the wing. He can break the lines into the lateral, into a number 6 who's pivoted further high up into the centre circle. He can switch the play to Andy Robertson. He can roam up here. He can take his shot on goal. In the half space. He can cross. He is a game breaker, a tactical breaker. When Trent Alexander-Arnold is on the pitch, the whole game is viewed and played differently from your setup and the opposition setup, because against Trent Alexander-Arnold, any player anywhere on the pitch cannot switch off and lose their man, because you are asking for trouble. Now the beautiful thing about this setup and in an Arne Slot system is that they don't always hit the long ball. They are comfortable playing the short pass, playing the extra pass, retaining possession, inviting the pressure, inviting the person to approach them on the ball, to maneuver them out of position. Whereas Van Dijk or Trent Alexander-Arnold, who are predominantly are two long ball players, Van Dijk usually to the right to a Mo Salah or to Trent Alexander-Arnold, they wait for the opportune time. Now they still play the ball, but not as often as Jurgen Klopp. It's not from back to front, it's a build up until the key opportunity when the opposition are out of place or displaced. That's what I want to summarise Arne Slot's slot machine style football as: displacement and disruption of the opposition, beating them, grinding them down with controlled football, punishing them when the opportunity arises, but not before then, waiting for the opportunity to strike, and strike lethally. Okay, so Trent Alexander-Arnold is in there. Number 6, big decision. Graham Birch has started 2 matches. Now this is one of the reasons why I feel not signing a 6 is actually a net positive, as long as the 6 that we wanted was not available. If Alan Varela was the 6, there is that release clause, but do you want to pee off Porto, who historically have a good relationship with Liverpool because they gave us Lucho Diaz? They could be giving us Alan Varela for lower than the release clause, but so late in the transfer window, do you want to upset a club which potentially has great talent coming through at all times and souring that relationship? Who knows? It's a long game. And additionally, if you sign a 6, what kind of message are you sending to Graham Birch Would you want to demoralize him? Would he be up for the challenge? Does he need an arm over the shoulder? Does he need to feel comfortable that role is his? He's always been a wonder kid of the highest caliber, world rated at Ajax, at Bayern Munich. Didn't quite work out for him at Bayern Munich, but he needs a manager to trust in him. He has that now in Arne Slot. He's repaying him with quality performances. Do you want to demoralize this guy? Well, now the window is shut. He will be absolute max morale. Arrow up, max as you go. Here, Gravenberch, chicken nugget and fried takoyaki. That is octopus. No, he's better than that. Eat a salad before the game and a load of pasta. Okay, so the argument is Gravenberch, single pivot. Wataru Endo, double pivot. Retain the ball, win the ball back. It will be feisty. It will be congested in midfield. There will be a bit of a scrap in the middle. Now, it's these type of games that Wataru Endo thrives, and his ability to play the ball through the lines, win the ball, keep it simple. However, I don't think Endo will start this particular game for the reasons that because Man United are at home, they need to come out and play. And when they come out and play, you look at the player in Arne Slot's system, they can hold on to the ball on the laterals long enough under pressure when he's being pressured by the opposition, long enough that Dominic Soboslai, for example, and I'm just going to grab Dommy Schlobbers right here, can run into the position to receive the ball through the lines. When he runs there, Gravenberch has pulled him out of position. You are over here on overload. We play in twos, so he has the out ball to Alexis McAllister, or when he's turning, he has all the options in front of him as well. So Gravenberch and whoever steps into the void as the two, shielding him and protecting him as the intelligent shadow in the worst situation that he loses the ball. And then Arne Slot system, the defensive midfielder, the number 6, which is why you want Zubimendi, you want someone who has a bit about them on the ball and playing the ball through the lines. Hold on to the ball until the opportune time to play the ball through the lines, okay? And Gravenberch is very, very adept at that, as we've seen in the opening 2 fixtures. I know you can only beat what's in front of you, so don't go overboard for now. However, it's very promising what he has done so far. He deserves that role, and the absence of signing a number 6 is his role to lose currently as it stands. I think the other two pick themselves. There's an argument for Harvey Elliott to come in, but the form of McAllister and the form of Dominic Soboslai means that Majestic Alexis, the ginger in the right lights, looks like Messi slightly. Let's hope he puts on a Messi-like performance, because he can operate in 6, 8 and 10 positions. Now this is very interesting. In the arc, he can also operate in the arc, and even more importantly, he can operate in the arc, roaming to the 10 position as well. But you're going to find more often than not, Soboslai is the intelligent shadow that backs up for Trent Alexander-Arnold, whereas McAllister doesn't need to do as much as Andy Robertson, because Andy Robertson doesn't burst forward as much as he used to. It's part of the plan and part of the laterals, okay? When players work in twos, I'll show you exactly what I mean when we've got the full lineup on the pitch. And in case you didn't know, the twos will be Alexander-Arnold and Dominic Soboslai, Ryan Gravenberch, and Alexis McAllister. See if you can spot it on the pitch when we play Man United. I will point it out in the live stream.
Another Liverpool win. Yay!
Remember to join the live stream. Liverpool Fan in Japan is going to do a live watch along on Sunday evening for me. It will be hitting on Monday because it starts very, very late. But I'll have my Japanese snacks ready. Join me for a good bit of fun, banter and tactical analysis, and hopefully a lot of passion and emotion when we outright beat Man United. And I'll give you my score predictions later. So let's just reset the board a little bit for a second. So I think Mo Salah picks himself more or less in this lineup, and I think with the form of Lucho Diaz, he's undroppable at the moment. He started absolutely on fire, dribbling machine and menace. You cannot take the ball off him. He's put all of the distractions of last season, whether his dad flirting with Barcelona, or his dad being kidnapped, or his dad dancing with the sexy Latino ground staff in the stands. All those distractions have been put aside, and Lucho Diaz has started on fire. Now the choice is between Diogo Jota, the Slotter, and Darwin Núñez. Now Darwin Núñez has been a weapon, an absolute masterclass in off the ball running against Man United, scoring 2 goals. Cody Gakpo scoring the goals as well. There's an argument for Gakpo to come on, argument for Núñez to start the game as well. Now it'd be a wild card and a big surprise if Núñez does start, just for the fact that Diogo Jota, the Slotter, is the clinical one, opening and scoring, doing that little crocodile chomp chomp thing. He probably wants that celebration baked into the next FIFA release, for example, buying himself Team of the Week, or that malarkey, or that good stuff that comes with eFootball, eSports. I do love my eSports, but better to watch it at home than in the stadium, because in the stadium you're watching it on TV anyway. So Diogo Jota starts here for the fact that his off the ball running, his ability to connect the play, is massively vital away from home. His ability to do that little silkworm dribble in and out between the lines is essential. And when Lucho Diaz cuts inside from the left, you're looking at Diogo Jota, the slotter, to provide him with the options, with the space, and make good things happen. Now, let's look at the tactical setup when we're on the ball. When we're on the ball, I do expect Trent Alexander-Arnold to go into half space, and I'm really enjoying the fact that Trent Alexander-Arnold is dominating this particular area and isn't roaming into this area as much until the opportune time arrives. Now, when you go into this area, you stop the counter-attack because you're an extra body in midfield. You form the square. It's hard to break through from Man United for the sheer amount of personnel, and you've got a wide defender in Konate. You set the trap, play in front of you, or you shield them down the line, where it's going to be a weaker ball across. Alisson Becker will claim it, or anything that goes out and around, once again, it's in front of the Liverpool defence, so you can shield against it. Shuffling them out wide and into a position of less threat is very, very important as a tactical manoeuvre, because you're prepared for them to go into those positions, for those traps, for that entanglement, because you've trained it in training already, okay? So I expect Alexander-Arnold to dominate this half space and look for the probing balls in and behind, because I don't think Matthijs de Ligt, Harry Maguire, Lisandro Martinez, Dalot and Mazraoui are prepared to constantly be on the back foot, turn and run in behind, have a player drop in front of them, pick which one do you pick up, which way do you go, left, right, is it Bobby Firmino? He's not even here today, but you know what I mean. Okay, so if he's in this position here, two things. Dominic Szoboszlai has to cover if he roams further forward. However, Dominic Szoboszlai can therefore go into 10 and McAllister can go out wide and Lucho Diaz can stay the high whips as well, because how do Man United shift? Do they cover the threat of Mo Salah on the outside? Do they cover the straight line ball into your Diogo Jota behind your lines between the centre back and the left back? The left back obviously coming from Mo Salah. Does he give a penetrating ball to Dominic Szoboszlai in the 10 position where your 6 is now struggling because probably all players are bombarding in? Who picks up who? You're going to rely on Rashford, you're going to rely on Garnacho, you're going to rely on Bruno Fernandes to pick up the off-the-ball runners. On the laterals, Liverpool are very, very dangerous. On so many occasions, I have seen the type of play where you switch the ball out to Andrew Robertson. Andrew Robertson picks out a Lucho Diaz. Diogo Jota will make the dummy run over here, but the ball doesn't come. The ball gets passed. The ball gets passed. And now, Trent Alexander-Arnold is the spare man over. And if you work a Trent Alexander-Arnold into this position here, this is absolutely a game-winning scenario, because not only can he slip a through ball in to Mo Salah, who will pass it for a goal, or hit it back to Trent Alexander-Arnold to hit in for a goal. He can long-range shot a goal. He can play in a Dominic Szoboszlai on the edge of the area. He can do a whipped cross into your Diogo Jota. He can do a cross-field ball, switching the point of attack and point of play, because Man United would have overloaded this side to defend against it. But actually, the threat that you don't see is the main danger, the threat on the opposite flank, because everyone else would have prepared for this side already. Okay, so when Trent Alexander-Arnold is on the pitch, I expect him to occupy this space. They're going to be tracking him. It's going to be Rashford tracking back. Now, as good as Rashford is 1v1 against Trent Alexander-Arnold, it's also another game-winning condition, because I don't expect Rashford to make a huge effort to track Alexander-Arnold, which means it's going to be Casemiro, but more likely Mainu trying to close him down. Kobe Mainu and Dalot will be the ones to try to shut out Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mo Salah. And you can't keep Mo Salah quiet for all 90 minutes. Mo Salah will get into the space. With such attention on Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mo Salah drifts into the inside forward half space position here, because in this position closer to goal, that's where he does maximum damage. Unfortunately, he had to keep the width under Jurgen Klopp's position here, and that is way too far away from goal. Mo Salah in the recent seasons has not been able to dribble his man and build up that head of steam for that pace to dominate the flank in terms of wing play. But as an inside forward, he is deadly, because his off-the-ball running is absolutely world-class. He's had it since day one, and that slight intelligence to be able to get into the prominent positions for the cutback, for the through ball, and play make from these positions, even outside of the left foot cross for Diogo Jota, worm his way in, stand a man out, play the ball in and around again. Absolutely fantastic. The one-touch interplay, the rondos on the right-hand side have always been a strength, and that's not even including Dominic Szoboszlai. And when you add him to the mix, his ability to cross from wide positions, allow Trent on the inside forward positions, allowing Mo Salah on the laterals, because these positions are the positions that Arne Slot tries to get in again and again. Unlike Jurgen Klopp, who plays predominantly in front of the defence, Arne Slot tries to worm a player into these positions here, these perpendicular laterals of the goal, because from this position here, you can hit it out wide for a cross into the box. You can hit it onto the guy on the edge of the area to laterally across again, and once again, you've got overloads on the back post, or even more simply, a square for tap in, or smash towards the back post for a spillage or deflection, or the goalkeeper save for tap in for Mo Salah, or smash it across goal in the zone of uncertainty where the defender can't stick a leg out, goalkeeper doesn't know whether he can come or go, and Mo Salah will be running in anyway with momentum because he'll be looking at goal, whereas Delo will be looking at him and his movement as well. So on these laterals, very, very deadly. And Dominic Szoboszlai has proven time and time again in the recent matches, he gives the ball to Mo Salah and off he goes. Mo Salah cuts inside, Dominic Szoboszlai waits, the pass is on from McAllister, but no, it's a blind ball. There's a blind ball to Dominic Szoboszlai in the laterals there. You're going to have a Trent overlapping on the outside. So what's the options here? If he has time to turn and get his head up, if he opens his body, it's a shot. If he's closed down, has to go on the whip, it's a pullback Diogo Jota or a smash across goal. Or pull back to Mo Salah, waiting for the 1-2 to smash it in. Or return to Trent Alexander-Arnold, where you now have an overload at the back post, at the penalty spot, and players to recycle the ball, and ability to press the opposition high in their half, congesting the play, bringing the offside line up, because I don't think Rashford outruns Ibu Konate, and I don't think Garnacho outruns Virgil van Dijk. This is why we can press high, and even Alisson Becker will be up here for sweeping, because anything in behind, he can sweep it out of play, or get the ball and play it simply as well, in which case Konate will drop back, and we build up again. So Liverpool's attack is fairly obvious in terms of how they were set up, but the partnerships of two will be very, very interesting, and it'll be very, very keen to see. I don't expect Andy Robertson to really play high and wide, but on occasions when the ball is pulled back to him, he has a quality whip delivery, and when Diogo Jota slaughter, like Luis Garcia back in the day, the smaller diminutive threat who's actually an absolute menace and monster in the air, Jota will bury it. Sadio Mane, small but will bury it. Lucho Garcia will bury it with the header. Michael Owen was actually useful with his head as well. So that's two of the game-winning conditions. Trent Alexander-Arnold in the half space, Mo Salah in the inside forward position, Dominic Szoboszlai in the lateral as well, but Lucho can also do it on the lateral as well. But the added bonus of Lucho is his partnership with Andy Robertson. Robertson will provide the energy, and Lucho Diaz will also track back and run back, and he's more effective in terms of energy output and tracking back in the left midfield space than perhaps Mo Salah in the right midfield space, for good reason, because he's an absolute dynamo, he's younger, he gets up and down on the break, you can't catch him when he goes inside with power, with his dribbling as well. And another game winning condition is obviously, as usual, Lucho Diaz in the Mazzala left position with options to play into a Jota in the lateral there, as I mentioned, or he takes his shot, because when you have this mercurial winger who can absolutely brap anyone on the run and on the dribble and hard to dispossess with a beautiful curling shot, all he needs to do is make sure it's on target, not over the bar, make sure it dips, it's not on the floor because of a dangling leg can take it off, it's not over the bar, but at least if it's on goal, there's a chance for spillage and a phase 2 where you fight for the second ball and hopefully tap it in and get a goal as well. So this attack I don't think can be stopped by Man United easily, for the fact that line in between the fullback is on again and again, and if they try to close it out, it's an outside ball with an overlap interchange, someone steps in the void and pigs the ball through anyway, so you cannot stop that ball repeatedly from getting between the fullback and the centre back. And additionally, you can't close that line either, because if you were to close that line and you have Trent Alexander-Arnold in the half space here, it doesn't matter where you are because it bypasses everyone and gets to the penalty spot, or a switch of play, or cutting the lines in to the person coming on from the opposite flank in the 8 position as well. So on the transitions, Liverpool are absolutely a menace to stop. Now on the defensive transitions, when we lose the ball, Arne Slot brings everyone back. Everyone has to run back. It's part of Arne Slot's game that you do run back. The good thing about these midfields are they're multifaceted. All 3 of these guys can play in a 6, including Szoboszlai, because Jurgen Klopp actually put Dominic Szoboszlai deeper in the midfield the latter the game went in the early parts of the season, alongside Curtis Jones, surprisingly. I think predominantly, as you know, Maka, very, very adept at the 6th position. I don't know what anyone is on about saying that he can't play the 6th position or he shouldn't. He's very effective there. He's a transitional midfielder who can operate in all phases of the midfield, whether it's 6, whether it's 8, or 10, or shadow striker. He's even useful as a wide midfielder, but perhaps not so much as a winger. He does that in midfield with Rodrigo de Paul and Enzo Fernandez as well. He is one of your best transitional players in the world at the moment, can fit a slot into any team, but especially in the slot machine. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Szoboszlai can switch as well. McAllister in a right-sided space has been the one to thread the ball through, chip the ball over to Núñez to chop down Nottingham Forest for the late goal as well. But because of Dominic Szoboszlai's responsibility, captain of Hungary, the Domi Schlobbers effect, the bromance with Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think Dominic Szoboszlai has to start on the right because of the delivery from the right-hand side, the cross, the pace, the partnership with Mo Salah, the pace, power and ability. It's going to be the same lineup as before. Now, who will come on for substitutions? I think this is a game, if you're holding on to a lead, Wataru Endo comes on. Who does he come on for? He probably comes on for Dominic Szoboszlai, because when you have 3 deep lying 6s, you can end up in this shape and allow Gravenberch to venture further forward. Gravenberch didn't actually complete 90 minutes on many occasions under Jurgen Klopp, but Gravenberch, I think, in this position is a threat as well for his ability to shift the ball either side, keep the ball and retain the ball high up, similar to what Curtis Jones does. And Curtis Jones is unfortunately injured, the only injury in our squad at the moment. But his ability to hold on to the ball until the reinforcements come, or laying the ball off and receiving it under pressure, he's very silky with his first touch, and be able to retain the ball higher up is a big important factor away at home on a big pitch like Old Trafford with the fans against you. So we could be seeing this position because Wataru Endo is very comfortable sitting in between the defence. Of these three, Endo is also the best in the air, aerially dueling the opposition. He leaps like a spring salmon and he'll be clearing the danger. He'll be holding the line, telling the forwards to press up the offside line as well. And you almost see a 5 formation, or Konate on the whips, Van Dijk covering, Robertson tucking in as well, and Endo roaming in and in front of him. He's an absolute menace to get past, and he's very good at tactical fouling as well. So I think Endo has a chance to come in place of Dominic Szoboszlai. Who else can potentially come on? Darwin Núñez. Now, if we go ahead in this particular game, pace will absolutely be the decisive factor in this game. Pace absolutely kills. Darwin Núñez for Diogo Jota. The lateral runnings in behind, and the key to unlocking a Darwin Núñez is you actually need a 10 close enough to him to give him those. Oh my god! Yeah. Damn it, a small earthquake again. Still safe, everyone's okay. I noticed because my glass display and little figurines are shaking, but okay, let's carry on. Because when you have a player like Alexis McAllister, or prominent number 10, who can slip him in with cute balls, his pace off the mark, his sprinting ability, which is actually scary considering he had an ACL injury, bad knee injury right at the start of his career. He can get in and he has a powerful shot. His ability to get onto the end of balls, cause chaos and play the junk ball style like Uruguay is very effective. And when Man United are under the cosh, the home fans won't accept them not going out and playing their ball and at least posing an attacking threat. And that's where Arne Slot, slot machine style football, comes into real effect, because of the fact that Arne Slot is able to keep possession and keep the ball, play tiki-taka, play the slot machine ball in and around the roulette again and again. Jogger Bonita, cutting back over to Endo back to Konate back to Alisson, chip it over Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mo Salah, ball into Darwin Núñez, release it back, cracker into the goal. It's a goal all day. Trent, wherever you may play, when you whip in the ball, it's a goal all day, that kind of thing, right? So Arne Slot will absolutely put Man United to the knife. If we are 2-0 up and Man United are chasing the game and they're still trying to get something from the game, Darwin Núñez comes on to effectively finish it. If Trent Alexander starts to gas, unfortunately he will be subbed again, because how can your muscle memory, if you're a Diego Dalot, if you're a Marcus Rashford, how can you switch on and chase an absolute manic madman rushing up and down the wing, coming in and playing the 1-2s, sending him in as well. Conor Bradley is actually the player, the fullback, who ends up in this position, maybe the most in world football. This position here, I call it the Jeremy Frimpong, Conor Bradley position on the edge of the box. He ends up in that position so many times, whether it's for a shot, for a cross, for an assist. He gets his body from here, defending one end, 1-2s, all the way out for a cross into that position where he is super effective, kind of like water against fire in Pokemon. Therefore, he is Squirtle of the Squirtle squad. And then, as usual, Andy Robertson may come off for a defensive option in Joe Gomez. You might go to a 3 at the back. You might really want to close up shop. 2 very effective wide defenders, especially against inverted forward in Joe Gomez and Ibu Konate there. And as a token memento, potentially Lucho Diaz for Cody Gakpo, because Gakpo loves a goal against Man United as well. That chipped finish, that cut inside, beautiful finish into the corner, and to rub salt into the wounds because Man United wanted Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo chose Liverpool. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And Harvey Elliott is always an option as well in the number 10 position. So if it's not Wataru Endo, if we're not holding on to the lead, if we need to break the deadlock and need a bit of silk, first touch, finesse and class to get our striker in on goal, it won't be Wataru Endo for Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai back on. Nope, you're off. Harvey Elliott will come on to add that bit of flair to break the deadlock. And at times we will see a full lateral. We will see a full lateral across the lines. Doesn't matter whether it's Lucho or Cody Gakpo. They'll be lining up, waiting to play the horizontal passes for the striker to be able to be played in or on an overlap, a fullback or potentially a wide midfielder coming in for this line here, because that is more or less the game-winning scenario to cut Man United to shreds, and they cannot defend it for 90 minutes. Bearing in mind that on the transition and on the break, when they're trying to hit Rashford, isolate Rashford up, Fernandes poking in and around the area, and it'll be interesting to see because they don't have a Rasmus Højlund to run the lines, a Joshua Zirkzee trying to hold up as well. Does that mean Bruno Fernandes is going to play off Joshua Zirkzee? Does Garnacho have any support on the left-hand side? Will it be Casemiro? No, it won't. But Diogo Dalot? But Mazraoui on this side and Diogo Dalot on this side will be trying to support in the flanks as well, but they'll be very, very wary about leaving themselves exposed. You'd expect them to camp in their half and play on the counter, because that's what Man United do in the biggest of fixtures, for better or for worse. And it's ultimately up to Rashford's shooting boots, Garnacho's shooting boots, and whether they can convert one of their half chances. And if they do, it'll be a different game, be a tight game. I'm very, very confident about this fixture, but saying that in mind, it's against Man United. Sometimes form goes out the window. Tactical masterclass. This is what I want to see from Arne Slot, outwitting Ten Haag. We are favourites for this match, rightly so, going in on form. If we beat Man United at Old Trafford, their season is derailed. They lost to Brighton last week, João Pedro goal. Thank you for the fancy football points. If they lose to Liverpool, my goodness, he'll be under the cosh, under pressure, because the shiny one, Arne Slot, is here to stay and dominate Ten Haag every single day. Up the shiny one. Yes, boss. Make sure to smash a like on this video if you enjoyed this. Really helps this video and channel get seen. Subscribe if you haven't already. Quality content coming up, especially Mamacita Maimi is doing the full translation of Wataru Endo's vlogs, the 22-minute vlogs, especially the latest ones, very, very soon in the members section. Join if you haven't already. Less than a large size of KFC chips, and the content is tastier too, so why not give it a go. And I believe, for my official prediction, it'll be Liverpool 3-1 against Man United, because Man United will probably score a dodgy goal, a deflection, a contentious goal, or a contentious penalty. But at the end of the day, we have too much firepower on the field and off the bench for Man United to contain. Historically, they don't play well against the current Liverpool setup. We keep more possession than them. We have better firepower than them. Our defensive line is better than them. Our personnel, man for man, is better than them. And our coach, the shiny one, is much better than their one, who is the faded one. The faded one, off you go. Wallow in the misery at the bottom of the table. And on we go to next week into the international break. 3 wins out of 3. Up the Reds. You'll never walk alone. Miyazaki Gan Ichiban. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed that tactical analysis and match preview. I always reward myself with a piece of kit, because you know me, your boy Liverpool Fan in Japan site, I love my merch. So I've got a piece of kit right here. Let's go and look into it. This is, it's a zipped appendage. It's a zipped apparel. Grey, New Balance, Liver Bird. Yellow tag, New Balance inside. New Balance, that was the sponsor before Adidas, isn't it? So it's not too old. I'm going to whip that on right now. Make sure to join me for the live stream tomorrow. I'll be there half an hour before kickoff and doing the lineups, doing the tactical previews of what we're going to expect, fireworks and the atmosphere in the crowd before the match. Join me for a good bit of banter and a running commentary as we go through the match. Now this fits like a tee. This is really kimochi. Kimochi means comfortable. I like it. Looking mighty fine if I do say so myself. Charcoal grey. This kit has made my day, and hopefully I've made your day too. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Smash a like on this video. Really helps get the video seen and helps grow the channel as well. The best way to support this channel is through YouTube membership. As I've said before, joining is cheaper than a box of 15 chicken McNuggets. So why not? Miyazaki Mama Mai will do the full 22-minute translation of the Wataru Endo video very, very shortly. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So I want to say a huge thank you to all the Liverpool Fan in Japan YouTube members who help keep this channel afloat. Becoming a YouTube member is the best way to support the channel. Thank you so much, especially to Joseph M, Jamie R, Christian Debs P and Captain Haz for going above and beyond in the LFIJ All-Stars tier and Emperor Endo tier. And I'm delighted to welcome the 3 newest members, Anthony Ogley, Michael Chin and Scooby Dooby Zero. Thank you so much for joining the Wonder Kids rank. You guys are the best. Make sure to join the Discord and choose your official member number as the first 100 members, and that is your member number forever on your official goodie coming to you when we reach 100 members. Until next time, Miyazaki man, Miyazaki gan Ichiban. It means the Miyazaki army, and we are growing. Once again, thank you everyone for supporting the channel. Until next time, Jan means peace. Enjoy the match with me on the live watch along. Hit my music.
Liverpool fan in Japan.